Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm your host, Ninon de Rosa, and my co-host is AJ Dean. Sit back and enjoy the show.
I want to welcome you. Hello, Ninon.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. And we have a fabulous show today. I want to give a shout out first to Ashley Gambino for wonderful tech support. Thank you, Ashley.
And well, Ashley, isn't that Gambino's daughter?
Yes.
That's my little princess. That's my little princess.
Little princess. Everybody has a princess. It's amazing.
And she is beautiful. So I want to say a warm welcome to Sapphira in London, England. Our burlesque star. She is also the book author of Burlesque Bust. And it's a wonderful book. Please get your copy. You can get it on Amazon.com. And she's from London. She is an amazing, amazing burlesque star. And then we also have Little J Gambino and tribute artist Bette Midler, also known as Vicki, Lynne. And they're going to sing a wonderful song called COVID Crazy off of his new CD. Very exciting. Welcome,
this sounds all exciting. Hey, Lynne, you're all looking amazing. I have to say that. You know something, you talk about Bette Midler. Good Lord alive, you really, I mean, there's a lot of people that look like a lot of people, but you really look like Bette Midler. That's amazing. It's amazing.
Can't help it.
Go ahead.
I can't help it.
Well, no, you obviously can't. This is what you are. I mean, what you are. You're looking fabulous. You're looking pretty cool there. How's life treating you? How's life treating you?
Life's treating me okay, but lately with this lockdown, it's all about COVID crazy. I'm feeling crazy and I'm feeling blue. COVID crazy under this lockdown with nothing to do.
Don't get to socialize. All we do is sanitize. Every day we wear a mask. Not even sure how long this will last.
No, COVID crazy.
I love it.
I'm feeling crazy and I'm feeling blue. COVID crazy under this lockdown with nothing to do.
We just want to live today. Socialize, go out and play. Immunize, take my advice. Otherwise, you'll pay the price.
COVID crazy.
We're all crazy, but I do understand that President Biden, I often wonder if we have a president or not, because he says he can't say certain things because they're going to get onto him. And I'm looking at it and thinking, what do you mean they're going to get onto you? You're the president. Whatever you say goes. It doesn't matter. No one can tell you what to do, right?
That's right.
And he said, oh, I'll get into trouble if I say this and say that. And I'm thinking, huh? That doesn't sound right. But he has said we can take our masks off outside.
Yes.
If everybody else has got the COVID and this, I mean, you've got to go through this checklist first to make sure you can take your mask off. Now let's go over to Sapphira. How are you looking? Absolutely beautiful. You're looking lovely. Is that a photograph of you next door to you?
It is a photograph of me next door to me. Just to have a backdrop. I like branding, and it's the image I use on the cover of my book, so people know it's the one and the same person.
Absolutely wonderful. And how's good old London with this COVID thing? Because I think you had it a little worse than we did here in America, though America's vast. How's it doing?
Well, it's been a very interesting year. I missed the life that I had, but I've enjoyed the new life I have because it made me be resourceful and meet people like you. And I've just finished World Burlesque Day, where 55 people were here on my screen. 55 countries were here on my screen connecting for the love of burlesque. So there's been some positives, but obviously there's been a lot of tragedy alongside it. So I don't diminish that.
Yeah, there's been tragedy, but then also, let's look at the positive, which is what you just said. And let's look at sort of what we've done. Now, all of us have suddenly done things we never had time to do before because we weren't home. So this has kind of been an incredible, for me, an awakening. And I hate to say it, but this pandemic has not affected me because I haven't really done anything different. I kept my shows going. AJ and I have kept everything going with this show. We have the other show, Vegas Live with Ninon, that went back up in last June, so that hasn't stopped. So unlike all of you, we've created something a little different, but it's sure opened our minds up, hasn't it? Gambino?
Yes.
So
I came out of my cave. I got to tell you, Ninon, only for you, my friend, did I finally agree to do a Zoom interview.
Really?
I got invited to several, and I wouldn't do it. I was shy about it. I was kind of weirded out by talking to a screen rather than a live person. And I said, for Ninon, I will do this. Because Ninon, you're just a beautiful person, a wonderful friend, and I just couldn't wait to see you again.
Oh, isn't that? Even if we have to see each other like this, it's okay. It's okay. And then you brought Bette Midler along. You know, she's amazing. Vicki, Lynne, she's absolutely amazing. So what have you gained out of this, Bette, Lynne, and Gambino? What have you both gained out of this last year and sort of 3 months?
Go ahead. I'll let you
Well,
tell
we've been working together. We've been doing a number of things. One is working on the weddings. We've got
wedding
a
packages.
brochure, which we put together, and we are putting some packages together. And we would like to eventually go down on the strip and maybe do some weddings in the chapels.
Sure.
You know, I thought that'd be fun. We're not able to do that yet, but we're working on getting it up and running.
I think you could start. I don't know if it's May 1st or June 1st, but I know that they're opening up a tremendous amount of places. But I happened to be in the Westgate the other day.
Oh, beautiful.
Last week, I was at the Westgate checking something out. And I ended up in a wedding room. I don't know how I ended up in this place, but they were having a wedding, this great big wedding. They have a chapel there at the Westgate on the where you walk in. I don't know, it's anyway, somewhere there. But the weddings are being performed, so maybe you could start already. Don't wait for everybody to say something. Just go out there and maybe call the Westgate, do a wedding.
And I think in May they said that we only have to be 3 feet apart. I think we don't have to be 6 feet anymore. So 3 feet apart is a whole lot better.
But do we want to be any less than 3 feet apart from talking to someone anyway?
I want to hug you. I'm Italian. Hug, kiss.
Big hugs and kiss. Well, I still hug. I still kiss. And if I get a response back, okay.
I want to contribute a little bit. I want to say what a wonderful thing Sapphira has done. She has reached out to many people all over the world. And I just want to show her book one more time, Burlesque or Bust. And in this book, she actually meets Sir Richard Branson. Now there's a photo in the back, and I'm going to show it on screen right now. And she also has one as well that she might be able to show. Do you have it there, Sapphira?
Yeah, this is me, my golden headline meeting the incredible Virgin.
Oh, Sophia, also, I called you Sophia. Sophia, you look beautiful there, but your dress is awfully short. I mean, I'm
not even wearing a dress. I'm wearing a corset and hot pants.
Oh, hot pants, fabulous. But you look fabulous there. Absolutely fine. What was that like meeting Sir Richard?
Well, it's interesting because we're talking about how we've been coping in this situation with the pandemic, and meeting Sir Richard Branson made me think back to the other pandemic, because according to the Health Metrics Institute, about 13% of the global population will suffer from some sort of mental health disorder. That's 970 million people. And I was trembling at the thought of in this opportunity to meet Richard. It was arranged by Virgin, but I knew I had to do it because I had dedicated 4 years of my Valentine's days asking him to be my Valentine in a unique way to get his attention and support and shine a light on burlesque, which I believe, particularly in the pandemic, has helped people and continues even when we're out of lockdown to get out of that funk and get into a creative mindset, and suddenly the world just gets a bit more brighter. And that is what it was like for me. So it was incredibly nerve-wracking. I was totally starstruck, and I fought for nearly 4 years on a regular Valentine's Day, thinking of crazier and crazier ways to get his attention. And that's how I managed to meet him and get support from Virgin.
But it was definitely worth the 4 years of the transition of making yourself, you know, and standing next to him and having those photographs taken. And I understand he's a very humble man. I understand he's very sweet.
Absolutely.
And very humble. You know, I have to say something. Sometimes it's not the person that you can't get to, it's the people in between stopping anybody getting to him. So sometimes a lot of people get branded, oh, he doesn't want to see me, or she doesn't want to see me. That is not so. It's the people in between that stop all these things. I know that through politics. You can never get to anybody because you can't see him, or you can't see her, you can't, and they want to see everybody. So don't think it was him.
No.
It wasn't. It was the people in between, but it was worth it, wasn't it?
Oh, no, I heard back from him straight away in the first year. We just weren't in the same country. So the Valentine's Day petition went online in 2013. It just took 4 years to actually be in the same place at the same time. And so it was really wonderful. I think I did a lot. And the other thing I've been doing in the lockdown is really thinking about how to bring this message of burlesque to the world, right? Because I believe we are actually witnessing something that is a subtle way to shift trauma, that is a fun way, that isn't like signing up for some arduous, you know, shrink session.
No, it's not that at all. No.
It's so playful, but it helps people to start to address some much deeper seated issues about body confidence and eating disorders. And even girls in my current mentoring group who've lost husbands to suicide have pushed through the grief through the play and creativity of costume. So this is what I've been doing. I've been thinking, how can I get my message out there more widely? Richard Branson was one part of that idea. Yeah. His affiliation and support in that photo would open doors, and it has.
Absolutely.
Now I'm using the press.
Why do we have a lot of publicity over things that have nothing to do with COVID, or we have it to do with COVID, but we don't hear all about the depression, the suicides, and that? We don't hear that side of it. Exactly. Why do we not hear that side of it? I mean, there's thousands of people that have died or committed suicide. We know quite a few people, obviously, that have passed away because of COVID. But there's people that have done certain things that haven't even got COVID that have committed suicide or passed. Why don't we hear about those people?
I don't know. It's a very strange thing that, you know, the media, and I think they are deliberately, you know, giving certain information focus and not the other. And possibly there's a, you know, a reason for that. Who knows? We can only guess. The truth is, though, it's having a huge secondary impact on mental health, because stability, households, incomes, domestic violence is on the rise because people are frustrated and feeling.
Well, they've got no money, right, Gambino? What do you think, Gambino? I mean, this has been definitely a problem with all the people that have.
I went through changes, Nina. Every single thing in my life, the way life was, became completely opposite. My home, me and my wife stopped living where we were living. My car got stolen. My income went down because there was no shows to perform. And so I agree with you 100%. Depression kicked in on a lot of people. And I personally think a lot of why they don't talk about it too much is because what do we do as Americans? The minute we get ill and don't feel well, we go to a doctor and they give you a Band-Aid. They don't fix it. They just Band-Aid you with medication. And a lot of these medications create those suicidal thoughts.
And so, I was going to say you're right, because there's a lot of drugs and drugs in pills now. It's not only you know, the marijuana, all this crazy stuff that's out there, but now it's even pills that you can order or the doctor prescribes to you. Start taking them, you get addicted, and they want other things, and then they give you other things.
That's why I love. And that's why I love Sapphira's creativeness towards burlesque, and that whole. It's more of a holistic kind of creative artist solution. And Sapphira, could you sing a few tunes of the song that you put together? She's also a singer and a musician. Can you sing us what you sung to Richard Branson? It's such a catchy little tune. It was so cute. I want everyone to hear it.
I will, because I'm loving the Bette Midler interpretation of taking a song and putting your own lyrics on it, which is called a derivative work. So when I wanted to meet Richard Branson, I was singing in all my shows, and you'll appreciate this, guys, quite a Las Vegas tactic. My heart belongs to Daddy, but I would change the last line to be like, my heart belongs to Ninon, or once I got Hyman, the guy was called Hyman, and I was choking with laughter.
Oh,
I got
yes.
songs to Hyman. Anyway, the point is, I changed it to Branson. So it went like this, and I put it on YouTube. The reason I met him was through Australia's biggest publicist picking up my request on LinkedIn, and she knew all the right people. But the song that got her attention, that got me in front of him initially was, are you ready?
Ready.
He flies the planes up in the sky. He's British, he's dashing, he's handsome. His toothy smile makes life worthwhile. My heart belongs to Branson.
I love it. Oh my goodness, my goodness.
That was creative. That was good.
That's definitely creative. What made you write your book, Burlesque Bust? What? This is a different title to a book, and I just love it. Burlesque Bust.
Well, it's burlesque or bust. You know, like you say, you know, Tennessee or bust, or you know how it was like. It's kind of a. I don't know where that came from. Is that from hitchhiking, where people
Lovely.
put their thumb out and they say something or bust? It came from that, like kind of.
Give me a bust.
But the point is, the reason I wrote it is that my life has been topsy-turvy, you know, and I laugh about it now, but I was excommunicated at 21 from a very strict Brethren church that stopped me from dancing, told me KISS, the band, stood for Kids in Satan's Service, and brainwashed me to feel very frightened of the world, but above all, stripped me of any way to be sensual and be a dancer and a musician. I mean, I could play classical piano, but that was it. We couldn't listen to the radio. They were very, very minimalist and
wow. Oh, this is a British family?
They are an Australian family.
Oh, Australian. Okay.
Highly influenced by this Brethren church. And, you know, that was like very upsetting. I was still in my family. My family didn't excommunicate me, but the church did when they found out I had sex, right?
Ooh, oh my goodness, how different.
Yes, well, burlesque was this evolution, because I left Australia after being sectioned and finally getting well enough, quite brave, and came to London and discovered an alter ego and put the eyelashes on and the makeup and the sparkles, and then just went, wow, this is making me like myself, and I'm not getting struck by lightning by God for being sensual. In fact, everyone's clapping and they want to see my boobs. So there's nothing wrong with it, right?
I love it.
That's what the story was about. And the opportunity came about through working at Macmillan in a corporate sales job, and my line manager moving to be at a mental health publisher. And he said to me, I know you've been fundraising for mental health. Would you like to write your story? And I submitted a chapter I'd written, and it was through, you know, links in the publishing world that it just came into being. So it was a hard book to write. You know, when you had upsetting things, going and writing them and remembering them is the last thing you want to do.
I agree.
But thank you for the acknowledgement. And you know what, 2 years on, it's had so many great responses. I think people have really connected with it, and I feel glad I was that vulnerable. But that is the most naked I've ever felt.
I think it's because you've opened up the world. That burlesque is a good word, not a bad word. And most of it was always, as a sort of years back, it was like a dirty word, you know, burlesque, this. You look at life in this day and age, and burlesque was quite innocent compared to what's going on right now. I mean, it's just amazing. I want to slip over to Bette Midler here. Bette Midler, how long and when did you start to be Bette Midler?
Oh my gosh. Well, people started telling me that I look like her back in 78, but I kind of brushed it aside and didn't think much of it. Then I moved to Las Vegas in about 92, 93, and I started hearing more people say, hey, you know who you look like? I'm like, no. So yeah, it just kept happening more and more frequently. So it wasn't until actually 2014 when I finally decided, you know what, I think I might want to be a tribute artist.
That sounds amazing. When you start singing out there, you know, Bette Midler had a lot of songs out there, and she was just amazing because with her songs, she kind of had the laughter with them, and she had the comedy with them. But then she also had her serious songs. What do you feel that you really do adapt to her? What songs would those be?
You know, I like all of her songs, and I've got so many tracks on most all of them, and I'm pretty versatile. I have taken quite a few voice lessons. Because like I said, starting out to be her doesn't mean, you got to really know what you're doing.
What you're doing. Oh, yeah. You're putting your name on a line.
Like her. Yeah. You have to play the part. So it's taken some time. It's always a growing process. I mean, it's still a growing process. So
it always is. I don't think any performer, whether it's burlesque, whether it's comedy, you still have to practice. You still have to do this every single. It's like a job. Most people don't think of it as a job. What I do, I'm forever learning. I'm forever getting knowledge in my head because I don't know what someone's going to suddenly ask me. And, they do ask me and I've got to have, or I've got to know what they're talking about. And it's like you, when you go out into the public, Vicki, do people, I recognize you immediately as Bette Midler, okay, because you've really, really, really got the look. What happens when you go out in public? Do they think you sometimes are Bette Midler?
Well, mostly when I'm with Jay will say, hey, check this out, and when I go out with you, you put me on display.
I do.
And then I have to try to turn it around and tell them, hey, you know what? I'm not her. I'm a tribute artist.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we were out doing karaoke one night. We were doing karaoke, and as we were leaving, the buzz was in the room. They're like, oh my God, is Bette Midler here with Jay Gambino? And
yes, she is.
I'm a comedian, so someone said, hey, Gambino, is that the divine Miss M? I go, oh, she's divine, all right, she's divine. And all I said was, she's divine, forget about it. We went out to the car, they chased us out to the car. She had like a panic attack. There was about 15 people rocking the car. They wanted pictures of her. They wanted autographs. They were just screaming. And she's like, Jay, you got to get them off the car. You got to tell them. We gotta go. Yeah, I had to get out there and, just kind of be a bodyguard for a minute and get the people off the car. But I thought it was hilarious. I'm a comedian. She got a little rattled. She's like, you got to tell them the truth now. Because they started, doing the tears. They started telling her how they've loved her all their life, and then, but I was like, hey, we could make some money doing this. So what she wants me to do is, since I'm so short, as a short Italian, she wants me to dress like Danny DeVito, and then she'll be Bette Midler.
Oh, you'd be great, Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
Danny DeVito, yes.
Yeah, and if you remember that comedy movie, he's popping the cork in the wine and he's pretending to cry because his wife got, kidnapped, but it's all a joke, and yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go out there and
you're gonna do that.
Yeah, she's gonna be ruthless people Bette. Yeah.
So Gambino, what are you doing right now? What have you both got planned apart from doing this duet and getting this thing together?
What I've been doing is what I always do, which is, I flip the script. So whatever's bugging me in life, I just make a comical parody. So me being a social butterfly that I am, suddenly not being able to touch people and kiss people and hang out, I was going a little COVID crazy. So I started writing. So I wrote 10 different parodies, and our CD's coming out. It's called COVID Crazy. And we've been in the studio every Sunday. Shout out to Mind Shift Productions. We have a wonderful studio engineer, DJ Chris. This is what the CD looks like on the front. I don't know if you see it.
Oh my goodness, that's fabulous.
It says Gambino COVID Crazy. Now the back of the CD has a fabulous picture of her as Bette Midler. And all I did is what I do best, which is make parodies. And I do have one that I wrote for COVID-19. Elton John as Rocket Man. So I turned Rocket Man into internet, and it goes like this. Well, I think it's gonna be a long, long time before I ever do leave this house. I'm not the guy that I used to be. Oh no, oh no. My hand is on the mouse. Internet, clicking in and out of everything. Internet, going through this lonely COVID-19, and I think it's gonna be a long, long time before I ever do leave this house. I'm not the guy that I used to be. Oh no, oh no. My hand is on the mouse.
I love it. It's amazing how when I talk to all of you with the burlesque, with you, with Bette Midler, and all of you, the inspiration that you have given to a different part of life that we've all entered into. And even AJ and myself, I said I would never do a Zoom show. Why would I? I like my live show. But here I am. And we started this Zoom way back, and thanks for AJ. Way back, we started this, right, AJ? What was it, June? It was way back. Little did I know that this would come so popular. I did not do it for that reason. I did it out of sort of, well, number one, I did it out of AJ, because AJ really wanted to do something. She'd been following me for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And I kept saying this AJ name coming up all the time. And I thought, who on earth is this woman? I got to find out who she is. And so I sort of called her and I got involved with her. And then I said, well, would you like to do a show? And she said, well, yes. And now look at her. She's now all dressed up and she's got the makeup on. She's got bangs. She's got ear things on, and she does everything. Yeah, you have no idea what this woman was and what she is now. No idea. But she still is the same AJ. She's still the same person.
Ninon, it's all thanks to you, Ninon. You are the foundation. You're my mentor. And we all need great mentors. And it's all because of you. So my credit, you're the best mentor that I could have gotten. And I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You know, you are amazing and you help so many people. And that's why I knew connecting you with Sapphira and little Jay Gambino and tribute artist Vicki, Lynne for Bette Midler, that everyone's heart is the same.
The same way. Yeah, yep. Same place. Sapphira.
May I give a little shout out? May I give a shout out?
You can give a shout out to anybody you want. You can have a whole list if you like. I don't mind.
I got three shouts. First, Ninon, you know I love you. You're an awesome person. From the first time I met you at the Pepper Mill, we just clicked. I became your little jockey. You know, I'm her horse jockey. That's our joke. And nobody could have got me to partake in a Zoom meeting except for you with your Zoom show, Ninon, because I already know you and feel comfortable. Yes. And AJ, you're tenacious, because just like you, Ninon, I kept seeing AJ Dean, AJ Dean, AJ Dean, and she was firing away. We want you on the show. We want you on the show. And then finally she says, AJ Dean with NinonSpeaks. I said, wait a minute. I know Ninon. I know this person. I go back and I told AJ, I said, AJ, you are awesome, because nobody could get me. And people come at me all the time online, right? And I'm always like, who's this person? Who's that person? And the little bubble pops up, you know, Messenger. And I kick the little bubble around like a soccer ball. You know, I'm like, out of here. I'm doing other things, you know. But AJ was so tenacious. I called her up. She mentioned you, Ninon. I said I'm there. But I have to get a shout to my 13-year-old daughter, Ashley. Yes. She is so smart and computer savvy that if she didn't agree to be here with us, she was our tech person for me and Bette today. Me and Vicki, we looked at the computer and we're like, look, back in our day, the only thing online was our laundry, okay? When you said go online, I said, what do you want? Your sneakers, your jeans, your shirts? But, you know, I say online with my daughter, Ashley's got it. So between AJ being so tenacious, with my daughter having the computer skills, here me and Vicki are, and I thank you guys, and my heart goes out, my love goes out to you, Ninon, AJ, Ashley, I love you, and Mom, and my wife, you're home, but you missed it.
Your wife, Gambino, your wife is the best. Gambino has the best wife. She is, I love her, I love her, I love her. I'll let her know, tell her, I love her. I'm sure she's watching anyway, or she will be watching.
She will love you for that. She will love you, because
you know, the one thing about this show is that I'm able to get people out there that are not getting out there. You're one of them, and also Bette Midler, you're one of them, Vicki, Lynne. But you're all out there, and also at Burlesque, getting this all out there and getting people to notice that we're still there. We're still performing. Once you're an entertainer, you're an entertainer. You don't stop. You find another way to do it. Isn't that right? Going back to my my burlesque young lady in London. Hey, what time is it in London?
It's 8:30.
8:30. Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool. You're getting yourself all ready to go out for sort of a nice little evening, right, after this?
I won't be able to sleep after talking to you, Ninon.
So what have you got coming up? Have you got anything coming up?
Me?
Yes.
Well, dreaming about you, and after that, I am mentoring the burlesque industry, because as you said, it's been considered a dirty word, but actually, as we've said, mental health, people are being given a band-aid and they're not addressing the root issues. Taking your clothes off is a great way to actually address a lot of root issues, believe it or not. And burlesque is a kind of gateway into this deeper world where you start to get more confident and suddenly the shirt comes off. So I want people to realize it's a wonderful tool. I'm mentoring performers about how to get in the press and reposition burlesque, right? So that's what's coming up. I will be having people right here on Zoom with me. And this amazing article is in like a 2-country magazine about burlesque healing. And I want people to realize this is a healing art form. I'm hoping we can get the kind of accolade and change that we see drag has now, where it's just so accepted. But 10 years ago, it was a bit dirty and perverse, where I feel burlesque has got a bit of that stigma. I'm trying to really break that open. And by telling people some of my tips about press skills and bringing them here onto Zoom with me for training, I'm managing to get spectacular results with people. So it helps to reposition burlesque media. I think the media.
It's funny. You made a remark and you said that people take their clothes off. Do you know that people take their clothes off at least once or twice a day? At least twice a day, because you take your nightgown off, your pajamas off, and you take it off. Now, I think what you need to do is we could make this very, very exciting. And if I can be of any help with any of your shows, myself and AJ, if we can be of any help to any of your shows, you want us to come on, whatever you want us to do, we'll do it for you. But I think you should express to people that they take their clothes off every single night, unless they go to bed dressed in their daily clothes. So why don't they make taking that, there's just an idea. Why don't they make taking their clothes off at night more of a sexy thing? They're like, you know, da 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 da. I mean, why don't we do it every night? Why don't we make it exciting? Just to take away the boredom and the transition of staying home. You know, it's like walking into your bedroom, like you're walking on stage.
I actually do that. So example. For me, having a shower is a great way to try different sneaky peeks with the towel, or try like a different leg across the door. Like, I'm constantly getting ideas. But I agree with you. That's why I'm teaching, because I'm like,
I think that would be brilliant, because when you think about it, do we take our clothes off at least twice a day? We take our clothes off and put other clothes on in the morning. I think we mostly do that. And then we take them off at night and put something else on, but in between we're naked. Why don't we make that beautiful?
Yes, we do. And then actually the costumes and doing it on stage really helps people with a sort of sense of self-acceptance.
Yeah,
I love. And it's the subtlety of it, but you think you're coming to dance class and suddenly it turns your whole life around.
Yeah, make the fun of it. Make life fun again. Make life exciting. I can remember life being so exciting and such a lot of fun, and now it's becoming drag, you know?
And thank you, Nina. And speaking of fun, I just want to let you know that Sapphira also has online classes, and I'm going to take one coming up.
All right, Sapphira. All right. That sounds amazing.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sapphira, let us know a little bit about you right now. We don't have much time left. How can people reach you and get all this incredible sexual thing out of their minds and onto the screen?
It's not that sexual, it's quite playful and generally clothed. The Zoom classes, you can find me most easily under World Burlesque Day. That is my big global plan, and it's the easy thing to remember. So just look for World Burlesque Day and you'll find me.
Fabulous. What about you, Gambino and Vicki Lynne? What about what have you got coming up, and how can people find you?
Oh, okay. Well, we've got the new CD coming out, COVID Crazy, with 10 new parodies all about the COVID. Of course, you can always find me online. Just put Little J Gambino, bada boom, bada bing. I pop up everywhere. But I do got to tell you one thing. She makes getting undressed sexy and invigorating. Not all of us look good loosening up our buttons, you see? When I loosen up my buttons, all of a sudden it's like, I love onion rolls. Put another loaf in the oven, baby. I love onion rolls. Come and use my oven and bake for me. And then I look in the mirror and I go, ow! Yeah. So
I agree with that, because my body's changed as well. When I was younger, it was quite nice, and now it's like, you know, I got a little lump hair and a little roll hair. Where did this come from? A little piece of fat, which shouldn't even be there. But it's
I've got a solution for you. You can keep your clothes on, and you can just move, you know, and accentuate the, you know, your hat and that kind of thing. What do you think about that?
Leave your hat on, baby. Well, that kind of reminds me of that song. You remember that song? Who was it by? It was in the early 80s. We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time.
There you go.
We can dance and party all night and drink a cherry Sprite. So
Something that's happening this day and age in 2021. I think they've missed all that. It's gone.
but Sapphira, you got to come to Vegas. Vegas
I
is the
really
place
want
to get your
to.
clothes
Yeah,
off.
come on, Sapphira.
You gotta come to
Come on
Vegas.
over.
And if you come to Vegas, I could get you a spotlight at the Sapphire. Have you heard of the Sapphire?
That would be so cool. That's almost like my name. No, I haven't, but that would be
The
amazing.
Sapphire is the largest gentleman's club in Las Vegas, and it's owned by some really good people. They have
gorgeous,
comedy
beautiful
night there.
place.
They
I've
have
been
comedy night once a week. So I used to perform there. I was a comedian in the Sapphire Comedy Hour. They do like burlesque. If you come, I'm serious. I could get you featured at the Sapphire.
Fine, let's get this working. Let's get this working.
I'll open for you. I'll do a little comedy. You go out there and knock them dead. Get your,
Connections.
doing what you do
Vicky,
best. Yeah.
Right,
But
Vicki,
Vegas-
Lynne,
I love your singing, and I love Bet's idea. And Bette Midler came from burlesque and cabaret. I think that was her roots. And she's in Gypsy, the
Yes,
music movie
yes.
as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of synergy.
there you go.
Yeah.
Vicki, Lynne, how can we reach you and what have you got coming up?
Actually, if you want to go through Jay, that's probably the best way right now to, since you're pretty much.
She's so humble.
Managing.
Oh,
She's
come
so
on.
managing.
humble.
You've got to have some place to go to. Do you have a Facebook or website?
There is a phone number. There's a business phone number. It's 702-542-6700.
Okay, wonderful. We've got to make sure we get all of you in. Go ahead.
And you know what we could do, Sapphira? I'm envisioning. You come out here. I hook you up at the Sapphire. I do a little comedy. You do your burlesque. And then she comes out and sings that big spender.
Hey, big.
Oh, yeah.
Linda.
Oh,
Okay.
I was thinking at the same time.
Give
And
us a
I
little-
was singing at the same time with you singing.
Time with me.
There you go.
You see what happens?
Spender,
All right.
one of my shows. Do it. Do it.
Gambino, Vicki, and all of it. You see what happens when you get something together, and this is what NinonSpeaks is all about. It's nothing to do with
Right.
me. It's nothing to do with AJ. It's to do with you, the three of you, getting yourselves together. Now, all of a sudden, you've got something going that all you have to do, is phone this club,
Yeah.
and get it booked up, and you come over, and everybody is happy and everybody is doing something. And this is what NinonSpeaks does. And I just want to give a shout out to all three of you, and of course, AJ, for coming on this show, making it worthwhile, and for helping our entertainers. Absolutely amazing.